Good afternoon. You know who's still on the nice list here? Saquon Barkley and Rocco. He's a fan. Comically, welcome. December 3rd. I think it's a Tuesday. It is comically low volumes today in the stock market. More than 2 years, we haven't seen volume like this. And I do that by SPY volume. SPY volume today we finished at 25 million shares. We typically average around like 45, 50 million. So this is typically like July 4 holiday, half day type session trading, Thanksgiving Friday, half session type trading. We actually did trade, I believe, more on Friday than we did today's session. So market totally on hold. The story was, I don't know if you woke up to it, but it was when the ventilator shuts down, I hear myself yelling. So, and Rocco gets shaky. Anyway, so today the story on the upside was oil, Japan, and gold miners. We said gold miners can move today. They were shining, especially if you were holding the juniors. They were all up 2%. Japan ripped. Glad to be long that one. Oil had a nice day. Popped up 3%. And then, of course, what I was saying about if you woke up to the news about in South Korea, there was a martial law declared basically over there. You can get into that. So that market was really selling off ugly today to new 52-week lows. And then it had a little bit of a rally towards the end of the day. I think they were voting parliament or something, or there was voting against it. They can override the law declaration. But anyway, so we'll take a look at the chart and nat gas. This continues to decline. This is the best trade of the past 5 days. Nat gas down 11% in the past 5 days, and new all-time highs for your QQQ, XLC behind a monster day from Meta, XLG, my baby, the S&P top 50, that hit a new all-time high today, and the Mag 7, which was powering a lot of this. So that is where the alpha today came from. Without further ado, let's share the screen. It's a nice one today. It's colorful. It's vibrant. Oh, yeah, beautiful. So here's the Japanese flag here, and you see the oil, gold there represented, and there it is in writing. Oil, Japan, and gold miners all shine up 2% or more, while South Korea natural gas decline. Can't talk today. New all-time highs for Qs, XLC, XLG, and MAGs. All right, so without further ado, let's get on the intraday chart first. On the SPY, Rocco, stop giving me lickies. We're live on the air, for goodness sakes. He's on the nice list. He wants to, well, that wouldn't get him on the naughty list. He's a guy. Is this it? All right, tired. We're going to have a little fun today. It was 25 million shares of SPY. I barely counted today. Rest in peace, ARKK, by the way. He was funny and a good market dude, and he talked a lot of sense during crazy, crazy times. I remember him, like even watching the markets there in high school and college. So props to ARKK and 83. Rest in peace. So here's the SPY intraday chart. I'm not going to get into the single stock moves, but like Super Micro gave a little bit back from that big rally, down 4%. Palantir continues. This thing is an absolute monster. Don't overcomplicate it. Just, capitalizing on the whole AI thing. So this is still strong. And then obviously more with the government contracts. But that stock was up monster $7. And Meta is what I was talking about earlier to push XLC to new all-time highs, up 3.5%. Meta now $613. And Intel, total give back and no faith in what the company is doing going forward, down 6% today. Ugly. Without further ado, so here is the SPY. So here was low volume, like I said, all day. This is really just digestion, and to me, the most important, especially on a low volume day, is the VWAP, is where the trading matters. And here we ended up closing above it. Is all you need to know by the end of the day. So up, very small day. It was a contraction in the VIX volatility, so total digestion day, and you saw one of the major 4 indices go to new all-time highs, the Qs. So let me zoom out, since the day didn't really mean a whole heck of a lot. So again, I mean, I'm not expecting to wake up and see huge moves to the upside here. Like I said, my lid on the market here is right around. You see, we're even getting smaller candles, hence why essentially this Bollinger Band is getting a little bit tighter. So you're having less volatility. The upper band is here. I'm looking at 608. I have it on another time frame. It's close to about 606. So again, my lid on the market here is 605 to 610. Don't love the risk reward. So I wasn't shocked when we came in this morning. We were, futures down a little bit. So yeah, like I said, the upside takes you to about 605 to 610. So about 1% of upside in the intermediate. And I think the sell-offs take you to about 590, 590. Yeah, 590, 92, 94, right in that area is a meaningful level. And that's insane. That's going to be the only pullback, because if so, again, those were levels only first discovered in human history November 7th. So it's crazy if that's the dip. It's a 4-week pullback, my God. But really, if things get more aggressive, this is what I'm saying, is even so much more bullish to me unless we get, a kind of a crash. I'm not expecting that. But 580 takes you to, what is that? This takes you back to the October, the October highs. I'm sorry, the October lows basically on Halloween, that Halloween nadir, if you will, took you to 570, and your 200-day moving average is 545. And that was levels only discovered, in the beginning of summer. So market's mad bullish. Don't stand ahead of this. There's going to be rotations. You have the Qs. People are saying, when are the Qs going to make new all-time highs? Today, December 3rd. That's when. All right. So again, sell-offs, I think, more likely taking a 590 over the next, a couple of weeks. But this looks like very bullish. I'm glad to be long. I'm not trying to, short this market. All right. So let's look and talk about what moved today in a significant manner. So oil, a big day. Let's pop it up. How much it was up today. Today was really on the upside was oil and the gold miners in Japan. So oil up 2.8% today. A very nice day for oil. We were talking, I think a while back, I have it in my notes here, basically on about November 20th or so, saying that this should be in buy mode. Let me highlight November 20th, right around here. I thought it was going to be a buy mode. I thought it was going to try and make a run towards 74. It did exactly that. I thought this 200-day moving average was going to stay heavy to get us up to current. Kind of the same thing. I think we're going to try and make a run at 74. Today it did that in a big way from 71 to 73. I think it tries to make a move towards 74, and I think it kind of gets stopped there. Maybe it gets to 75. I don't believe so, and then I think it goes lower. So that's what I'm expecting for oil. I'd rather be on the buyer side than this, but I think it tries to make a move, like I said, towards 74, and that's it for that. Congrats, I guess, if you made that, if you caught that move today. I caught this move today. These Japan options moved, like I said before, yesterday, actually, because this was moving yesterday in a big capacity. If you could see the candle, this thing has leapfrogged the 200-day moving average in just 4 sessions. So I said I'd rather be better buyer than seller, but my full valuation target on this was right around 70.5. We have, as I said, just traversed over that to 71.5. Now I like that the 200-day moving average is still rising. Like I said, I'm long. The January now in the money calls, so like that. It's good. I don't think the 52-week high, I believe that's the 25-year high for Japan, is at 73.25, set back on September 26th. I don't think it has that kind of gusto on this run. Always kind of like even when Bitcoin goes vertical, you have to always take into account the duration of the run and how long it's, what it's done surpassing the resistance, turning this, kind of a ceiling into a floor now. So it's going to be a tough trampoline to sink into. I think it's going to take some time. So this is a great run. I'm glad I've caught all of it through a lot of the zigzags, but this thing is going from 67 to 71 in just a handful of days, a week and a half worth of sessions, and the ATR is 80 cents. ATR is average true range. So this is moving a lot today, up $1. As I said, my full target on this 70.5, 71. Yeah, it's around 70.5. So I would not be shocked to see this come down in the coming days, but nice momentum right here. Strong close. Might try to angle, like I said, to get towards that $73 at the 52-week high, but I don't think it has that much gusto. We'll see. Next, GDX, a big mover today. Talking about everything that was to the upside. GDX up 2.3% today. A nice move. I'm also in that one. So not a horrendous day for the portfolio. And we'll talk about why another big factor is short net gas. But yeah, so GDX, I think this kind of peaked. I like that it got to essentially this 38 mark. I don't think it has much more than that. I'm long, as I said. I think this is going to base around here, around this 38 level, which is its 21-day exponential moving average. And I think sell-offs, this is a volatile one. This one can move. I think sell-offs will take this to about, I think, it's complex to see if it holds. It's complicated to see if it holds this 200-day moving average. I think it will. So I was going to be, why I say that is because I thought my initial thought was sell-offs will take you down to about $35, but I'm not calling for new, essentially 4-month lows in this. So I think sell-offs take you to about 35.80. So I think this kind of run its course. Surprising, kind of a nice strong move today, but I would expect this to start to head towards, may have a little bit more, like I said, to the upside here. May goes towards 38. This thing can move. But after the next 2 to 3 weeks, I do think this heads towards 36. All right, so that was it for the upsides. The downside today, if you're in South Korea, yikes, down 1 point. It closed down 1.9%. If you look at this candle, wow, that is dramatic. The stock hit all the way to 52.67, and it was as high as $57 when everyone was just trying to sell. I know they were having announcements saying that the banks are going to help and the government's going to try and help step in. They have different circuit breakers than we do here, but a big issue there. After the whole martial law declared last night. Anyways, really tough here. Before the low had been 56 set, about 2 weeks ago. The chart didn't look great to me even before anything was declared this morning, but my valuation for the sell-off was to get to about 55.5, and we closed at 55.60. So I think it did a lot. I'd be curious to see if it tests towards that ugly. I think that was, you can see that's extreme fear when you have a wick like this. So we basically essentially, if candlestick 101 opened here at 57, ended up going all the way to 52, 53 on extreme fear, and then ended up closing 56. So kind of, these are panic sellers down here at the bottom. And again, these lows have held since, 56 level has held, even 50, that's interesting. 57 was the lows back there in January. 56 had proved to be a good source of support. And like I said, that was my low for the sell-off. If you asked me yesterday, I didn't like being long this name anyhow, especially with where the market is. There's really no reason to own South Korea, I would say, since August 2nd. There really isn't. Very short-term gains, but no real strength there. So 52-week low for that group. Next, ARKG, the second biggest, another multiple sigma loser. We said this has been on such a run, and it made traffic with a 200 moving average. Look for maybe has another day or two. What happened today? Got to Kembe, rest in peace to Kembe, hard all the way back down. So this thing had gone from 26.60 to 25.60 in a heartbeat just today alone. We talked about the heaviness of the 200-day moving, and it would just be hubris if you thought it was a meaningless number. Look at what it's meant for this stock easily since March. So the past 9 months, this has been a very significant ceiling on this name. I had been saying I like ARKG. It has probably a little bit more upside to it, to about 27. I did think it had a little bit more of that. Let's see what happens in the coming days, because my target for this was about another week or so for bullishness. I thought I was going to at least have a couple of sessions above this 200-day moving average of 25.80, but it's basically sitting there now. It's under by 10 cents. So we'll see. I think it potentially has a little bit more upside. This was on fire, as I said last week. All the 52-week lows. Have they begun to rotate out of weak performing names like this? We'll see if it's begun. And the next one, speaking of garbage, or like true garbage, nat gas, my favorite thing to short. It's wonderful. Again, I said I just did it like a crash test dummy. When the trading at any point got to that 200-day moving average, which is now set at 1541, you sell it. It's just that simple. You sell it. I don't really want to overcomplicate it. I like this one still to the downside. The puts have been working wonderfully, and my target for this is about 11.85 to about $12, which would be a new 52-week low. I think you're going to get that in about the next week or so. Just ugly nat gas, just trash, down 4.8% today. Just trash. Like I said, I like the downside to about $12, which would be a new 52-week low. All right. Top 3 gainers of the past 5 days, no repeats in charts. So the best gainer, we already looked at it, but I'm going to just speak to it. Japan up 4.5%. Glad to be in that one. It's done nothing for a while. I just literally talked about it 2 days ago. It's kind of like people crapping on my Eagles and they rip off 8 straight. What's up, Saquon? I'll pick up Rocco, but he's falling asleep and snoring on me. He's wearing his Eagle stuff. But basically, Japan has recently, in this past week, been on fire, up 4.5% to 5%, or average of 1% a day. Strong candle again today. Like we just looked at the chart before. I think it's run its course, but still a trend I want to be a part of. The next area, as we pay attention to the more international markets, is KWEB. KWEB up 4% in the past 5 days. Today, just flat day, but it's had a nice, like I said, 5 days coming off of 29.70 all the way to 31.10 here. I think we had highlighted FXI the other day or last week and said we like it to the upside. So for this, I like this, a nice little reversal by 200-day moving average, still nicely rising. Yeah, we were talking about this or FXI because we're still holding from when the stimulus was announced, and that's a good form of confidence. You want to see that price hold, even when all the talk comes out and says, oh, they're going to need more stimulus, and it's going to take longer time. You still want to see that gap up hold. We'll see if it gets filled eventually. But yeah, like KWEB, it right now is at its 21-day moving average. So it did all that work just to get to this point. I like this to about 33 over the next week and a half or so. So that would be a nice move, another $2 or so. So if you're long KWEB, I think you should very likely anticipate some gains. And I'm in FXI, so bang, bang. All right, and the next ARK is the next biggest gainer, up 3%. So not as much as Japan or Chinese internet, but ARK doing super well. ARK, a 52-week high yesterday. It's absolutely crazy. People were crapping on this and saying it's going to be the worst fund to be in, and she's dumb, and it's the worst. It was right around here, literally August 5th. Well, that was the Japan crash, but it hadn't been doing well after that. People saying she's an idiot and her funds are going to do well. Obviously, a lot of this is Tesla. Here is the election day, and of course, Trump and Musk butt buddies. ARK here was $47, and of course, I think she's using Bitcoin in this fund as well. And then the 52-week high yesterday struck at basically $60. So I like this one. My full valuation for the upside target, however, was $59 to like $60. So here's that full valuation. Rather be a better buyer than seller, as I said, but yeah, not much more to say on that. $59 is my value where it is now. Pullbacks, probably like towards next month, probably takes it down to about 56. All right, top 3 losers the past 5 days. It's the dog in the doghouse. The biggest loser, Nat Gas, down 11%, straight off that Dikembe. So don't tell me technical analysis doesn't, mean anything. It's literally making me money, especially off an instrument like that. It trades like Bitcoin. There's no earnings. Of course, there's supply release data, hurricanes, weather, stuff like that. But technically speaking, it trades to there, breakout, breakdowns. Just mark my words, 52-week low incoming soon on the UNG. Next biggest loser is Brazil. We were talking about this one yesterday when it hit a 52-week low. You can't say that, or 2 days ago, you can't say that about many areas. Brazil today up 0.6, just not a great place to be. Getting absolutely smacked this week, down almost 8% in the past 5 days. I thought this was going to base around 26, so this is still doing just the work of just getting back to not embarrassing breakdown levels. I mean, again, for the most of the past year, it's been holding 27 outside of 3 sessions. So this is really a breakdown. I do think you get a mean reversion. It's going to take probably some time to get to $27 even. Again, that's $1.40 away. So a lot of work to get to that, but I do think it eventually gets there in some kind of potential trash rotation, maybe good news, dollar inverse moves, who knows. But I do think it gets towards $27 in the next, 3, maybe 4 weeks, and then you probably sell it again. And then lastly, volatility itself, VXX down 4.5%. So again, the losers were Nat Gas, Brazil, and Vol. You did not want to be in this areas this week. I'm short Nat Gas, no relation with Brazil, and then VXX. Haven't been really selling a ton of options with the VIX where it is. But here VXX, we've been talking about it. So today it was down 0.9%, so down 1%. Been saying this is going to, I believe, not sell off aggressively, but I think this has 41 in its future, 40.5 to 41 coming in its future over the next 1 to 2 weeks, and then I'll revisit it if the new 52-week lows come later this month. I think they do, and that would be a break of under 40 in VXX. Okie dokie, artichoke. Top 3 absolute trades of the past 5 days. If you were short Nat Gas, like moi, that's 11% through if you were just short through Nat Gas, obviously options move a lot more. If you were short Brazil, congrats. Just kicking it down into the hole, into 52-week holes, 52-week lows, down 7.5%. And then after that, long EWJ, glad to be in that one. I'll tell you when I'm right. I'll tell you when I'm wrong, as I'm sure, yeah, I hope to. Long EWJ, that's 4.5% up. Yeah, and that is it for markets. No video tomorrow, and I will be back with Friday with a full recap. And don't forget Friday's unemployment number, and I think there's some other economic data, jobless claims, and yes, late.